Good afternoon and welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Danais.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
I want to thank our sponsors, Skelly's Market,
Downtown Grill and Cafe.
and Morrissey's Porch and Pub.
Thank you guys.
It was Halloween dress-up day today, Coach. Could you guess who I was?
I do know. I wonder if our fans know who you are. If you could you put the hood up? Would you do that?
Well, I had the hood up all day long.
Yeah,
so
the hood up. You've got the sleeves cut, and you have a whistle somewhere.
I had the whistle too,
You've already blown the whistle in my ear.
So
I think most people would probably guess that you are not Pete Carroll.
I am. I used to be the greatest coach of all time.
Oh, used to be. Oh, past tense now. My goodness. So you're Coach Belichick?
The stock is going down quickly.
Yeah,
which we're gonna get to.
We're gonna get to, but it's a good Halloween outfit.
Thank you.
Did you actually? I mean, obviously, I know you made it, but did you make it today, or is this something that you've had in your closet?
This has been my go-to Halloween outfit for about 12 years.
Has it really?
Yes, it has. Any chance you get to just wear a
sweatshirt. I hear you.
And so the kids get a kick out of it.
Yeah, that's good. You look good.
Thanks. Do you guys dress up in elementary school?
We just had today. So we get. I mean, similar to you, this year we get two Halloweens.
We get two on Friday.
Two Halloweens. So we had a Halloween today at the elementary school, and we have a Halloween on Friday as well.
And did you partake?
I did not partake today. I will actually be partaking on. I heard the lame part twice. Yeah.
Twice.
I will be partaking on Friday, and I think we'll pull out the old giant pumpkin costume that my wife made, and I love it. And it has it's great, especially now that I have no hair up here. I put my little stem on. It's adorable.
Please give me a picture of that. Just please give me a picture of that.
I will make sure you get a picture of that.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the ski and skate sale?
I do want to talk about the ski and skate sale. So the ski and skate let's try that again. The ski and skate sale, which benefits the Abenaki ski team. It's the 47th annual ski and skate sale. Will be held on Saturday, November 14th from 11 to 3 p.m., 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., down at the Fossfield Pavilion, which is in downtown Wolfeboro. And it's a great opportunity to get new skis if you want new skis, new skates. There's going to be Pichet's Ski Shop's going to be there, Plymouth Ski and Sport, they're going to be there. Plus, it's also a great opportunity to get gently used equipment at really great prices, and you're benefiting the Abenaki ski team. So I can't believe 47 years this has been going on. So, if we had like lights flashing, the big thing this year is it's not at the high school. It's down at the Fossfield Pavilion. It's going to be outside. Obviously, it's going to be socially distanced. Please wear your mask. But it's going to be awesome to get all of your ski gear. And I just saw today, I read King Pine, they're opening and they have their COVID guidelines. So it's exciting that we're going to have a ski season. I'm
curious of what the COVID guidelines are going to be for ski resorts. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I got a chance to read some of King Pine's, and obviously it's going to be limited access in the lodge and
chairlift. You can only go up with a family member.
I would think so, or specific, or someone that you traveled with in the same vehicle.
But I'm sure you've skied before. Of course, those lines to get it's pretty tight.
Yeah, and I think they're at least the King Pine. They're limiting the amount of tickets they're selling per day. So if you have a season pass, you can come, no problem. But other than that, there'll be limited tickets for sale so that they don't get crushed with the crowds. But we'll see you guys all at the ski and skate. I'm not going to be able to say this. The ski and skate sale on November 14th from 11 to 3 p.m. Fossfield Pavilion. Don't forget the safety guidelines. Make sure you bring your mask.
You have 2 more weeks of saying that too.
I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It'll get better with practice. All right.
Athlete of the week. Our female athlete of the week is Marcella Donito. Coach Kelly remarks that Marcella's ability to effortlessly cover ground during games is amazing. Marcella continues to be so selfless when it comes to anything team-related on and off the field. Marcella is a very well-rounded and grounded young lady and someone who is a real joy to have on the team. Great job, Marcella.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Marcella.
Way to go, Marcella.
Our male athlete of the week is Carter Morrissey. Carter gave a dominating performance in the Kingswood boys soccer game this week versus Prospect Mountain, including scoring his second goal of the season from the defensive midfield and playing for the entire 100 minutes in last Monday's 1-1 draw with the Timberwolves. Carter and the Knights look to continue the positive results this week in playoff action against arch rivals Kennett at home on Wednesday night. Congratulations, Carter, and go Knights.
So, Carter already plugged the boys soccer game.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Huge Wednesday night. So by the time people see this, the soccer game will be already played, but hopefully the Knights will be victorious.
All right, so during the show,
Yeah.
for the show, we are going to talk Kingswood sports,
Yes.
the teams that are remaining. We'll recap some of the teams that are done.
Right.
We have some Patriots stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk Patriots.
This is not a good day
No.
for the Patriots. Not a good week. So we
It's
have
not.
some. We almost have to shift.
Shift our focus.
Well, we've been on top for so long.
Yeah, but you know what keeps me going. Tommy and Tampa.
He's not.
He keeps me going.
Why?
Because I'm a big Tommy fan. I love Gronk. I'm becoming a Bucks fan. I'm not getting rid of the Patriots. I love the Patriots. Patriots are still my number one. But at least I don't. You know when the Pats lose, you feel terrible. Like it could ruin a whole week for you.
Yes.
But that's why I'm kind of grateful that I have Tommy.
But I mean, we've had a. I know we're gonna get to it, but we've had a. We've been living a dream as far as
For 20
sports
years.
fans.
Yeah.
Actually, you can go back to 1996 when they were in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
They really haven't been down since then.
Yeah.
And so for 25 years, give or take,
Yeah.
we've been, at the very least in the upper echelon of the NFL.
We have.
We have not dipped below. And if you look at power rankings and all that kind of stuff, Patriots were never really below number 10 at most.
Right.
And at the end of the year, they were in the top 3 or 4. And at the beginning of the year, they were in the top 3 or 4.
Right.
This is a place that we haven't been in a long time. There's a generation of fans out there that don't know this.
They've never seen the Patriots lose. But can we spin it a little bit? Can we spin it to a little bit of a positive? Is this, and I don't want to jump into Pats yet, but is this an opportunity? Like, I'm kind of excited. Could we transform the Patriots? Could they become something different? Like, can we get rid of the old?
The Jets?
And then maybe bring in some new? I don't know. I don't know. We'll get to that.
I don't know. We'll get to that. Let's save that one for a little bit later. Let's talk Kingswood sports right now. So we'll start with the football team.
Yeah.
The football team went to Merrimack Valley on Saturday for the play-in game. So it was called a playoff game. It was a play-in game.
It was, yeah.
And it was more competitive than their games had been, but
yeah, it was still a big challenge. They had they got down early. I mean, they went down 28-0. So,
I talked to Coach Estes today.
Yeah.
And he said that they just were big kids. Merrimack Valley was big kids.
So Coach Skelly and I went to the game, and Coach Skelly always stands in the end zone. So we stood in the end zone, and the McCullough family joined us, which was great. And the first thing that came out of Coach Skelly's mouth was, "Look at the size of the Merrimack Valley players." I mean, these were big boys, and I don't mean like big chubby boys. These were big muscular boys, almost men, you should say. And I was like, "Holy cow!" I mean, I did not expect to see that.
Did it surprise you that Merrimack Valley was considered that the lower echelon of Division II by how they looked and how they played? Because I'm hearing their quarterback was really good.
Yeah, I mean, they had some, to coin Chip Skelly's phrase, some legit players. I mean, the quarterback was awesome. Their running back was excellent. They had a solid defense. I mean, they were a good team. And I know that any given Friday or Saturday, anything can happen. But if you were to take that Merrimack Valley team and put them against maybe, say, like a Guilford Belmont that we saw, I mean, I might even take Merrimack Valley, just on any given day. I mean, the Merrimack Valley is a pretty good team.
Do you think this is more than what they had bargained for, the Merrimack Valley team? Because going into it, this was going to be the chance, because they dropped Kennett from the schedule just so they could get to Merrimack Valley. Do you think it just was more than what they bargained for? Do they think they expected to be a little bit more competitive with them?
I think so. I mean, and we had talked to Coach Landry, and I think they were cautiously optimistic that they were going to be competitive, and I mean, that was my expectation too, and unfortunately just didn't happen. And it's, I mean, I don't think there needs to be any finger pointing or blame.
Of course not.
For any of that. I mean, I think the team was properly prepared, and they got beat.
I think the team's been properly prepared every single week.
Absolutely.
They have numbers issues compared to the other teams, and they have some size issues.
They do.
And we've seen it with the Patriots, but we certainly see it at this level, where it starts with that line.
Yeah.
And if you don't have enough time to execute a
to set up a play, right?
then you're not going to get the playoff,
Right.
and everything's broken. I mean, the longest play the Kings has had this year has really been that broken run by Andrew Keniston.
Yeah.
And then that was just a broken play.
Right.
And then on the defensive line, if you don't have that line just to, create a little bit of resistance for the other team,
Right.
it's hard to get things going, and you just really hang everybody out.
It is. It was good to see, though. I mean, in a sense that it was, the seniors' last game, so I was happy to at least be there as a spectator to see that. We're going to miss, all of our seniors. And, Jackson McCullough once again had an amazing game, which was great to see. And David Hartley, I mean, he scored both of the touchdowns.
I heard that they had some success down the stretch, that both Jackson and David were in the backfield.
Yeah, Jackson and David were in the backfield, and Damian Gavel, freshman, was the quarterback. And when I look at this team, I'm like, there are a lot of bright spots, and a lot of young kids got opportunities that they normally wouldn't have in a season. If you had 40 varsity players, you probably wouldn't have had a freshman at quarterback. But Damian stepped up and he played well, and that's a lot to ask a freshman to play at the varsity level. And you could see that he knew what he was doing. He was prepared, and he did a good job. Because it's you always talk, and as you know, with coaching and stuff, you never want to put young players into situations too soon in their athletic career.
Yep.
And the kids that had to step up were prepared and ready for it.
Well, congratulations, Kingswood football.
Yep.
Looking forward to next year.
Absolutely, which is going to be great.
All right, field hockey team also had their playoff game.
They did.
And it was here, and field hockey had the number 1 seed, and Kennett came here as, I believe, the number 4 seed or the 5 seed.
Right.
Kennett's good, though.
They are.
Kennett's good. That's a strong 4 or 5 seed. I know they picked out of the hat to do the seedings.
They beat us.
They beat us 2-0, but they also went on and beat Lebanon yesterday.
Hanover yesterday. 4-0.
Yeah, so they're in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So
Kennett's a really good team.
So that was, and I think, we talked about this on the radio. Some of these other teams had a lot more games than we did.
Right.
Governor Wentworth chose to start their season a little bit later out of precautions, and these other teams kind of got going earlier.
Sure.
And I think you might have seen
they might have had a little bit of a jump,
yeah,
a little bit of jump on the season.
So, and that's not, again, that's nobody's fault. It was something that,
And so I know I don't mean to laugh, but then there's Somersworth football, right? Who came out and played one game. They went 1-0, and they're the number 1 seed. So
I don't think there's some people that are really happy about that.
I don't think there are a lot of people that are happy about that either. But
I mean, there was all kinds of stories like that throughout the state. There,
Yeah.
I believe that it was Dover volleyball went undefeated.
Okay.
And they had to play in the play-in game.
Yeah.
So, and the team that they were doing the play-in game was like 500, and they worked their butt off to get to the
to get where they are.
Like,
right.
I'm not even going to make the top
playoffs.
8
Yeah, right.
because we got to play this undefeated team. So, I mean. Whatever.
I mean, I know
it's hard to throw stones at.
I was going to say, at least the kids are playing sports,
right?
And that's that's what we care about.
And there is hope that now hockey looks like they're going to get going again this weekend.
Right.
I know my son's teams, they're scheduling games, and some of the other teams that are
in New Hampshire, correct?
New Hampshire, yeah.
Massachusetts, they're still shut.
done for a week.
Yeah.
And Maine is not allowing games or allowing practices.
Okay.
So now they put in all kinds of new regulations
right.
to step up the safety.
Yeah. What is it? Are they going to have to skate with ventilators on? Where are we at with this?
Well, that's actually, that's really the case, that they're looking at covers for the
mask,
face. Now, right now they're not going to have them on the ice, but on the benches they're going to need to. If they're not within, if they can't socially distance at 6 feet,
okay,
they're going to need them. And so all the arenas extended their benches way out.
Yeah, you almost got my nose with that hand. That really came close. So they're just there. Are we doing that at the Pop? We, as in Kingswood, not us.
So, I think these are state mandates now.
Okay.
Whereas before they weren't, and so now I think the state has mandated
you're going
to have to figure this thing out. That kind of room on the bench isn't really available.
Right, because I think of the bench. Yeah, I was thinking of the bench. Like, you need to be able to get on and off the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you extend the bench, there's glass. Yeah. There's no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah. I don't know exactly. We'll see what it looks like. One spectator per player.
Okay.
So, looks like my wife will be staying in the car. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Carla.
It's okay. She doesn't watch. What else? I'm trying to think what else.
Looks like we're going to need an edit. All right, so you were saying there are different regulations. Any other regulations that you've heard of?
Checking is still in place. Checking is still in place.
In New Hampshire. So we're just talking New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So they're going to try it, and one other thing. Every single player, anybody that has anything to do with the hockey program, has to be tested before they get back on the ice.
Okay. So tell me, can you tell me? I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I think you do. Tell me about that. So to get back on the ice. So let's say I play hockey. All right. So I'm going to get tested, right?
Yes.
And then if it's a negative test, which I hope it would be, then I'm able to get back on the ice. Do I have to then get tested every 2 weeks, or do we know anything?
Nope. They want to right now. They want a clean slate of the players coming in.
Okay.
To say, okay, is hockey actually causing some of this spread?
All right.
And so they had to happen after October 15th. Your test had to be after October 15th for it to be valid. So we happened to have gotten my boy tested, and
sure.
So he was fine. And but the state, I don't know if you caught yesterday, this state put out something. The testing facilities are being overrun.
I did see
with
that.
hockey players. Because
Yeah.
all the hockey players,
and they can't keep up with the demand.
They can't keep up with the demand because hockey's supposed to start this Friday. It's been taking like 5 days for some of these longer tests, unless you do the quick one. With the quick one, you have to pay a little bit more.
Extra, yeah.
So it's kind of a quagmire that they're in right now, trying to get everybody tested.
Wow. Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is, absolutely.
All right. We got sidetracked there, didn't we?
We got.
What were we talking about? Field hockey?
We somehow went from field hockey to ice hockey.
How did we get to field
Yeah.
hockey? Volleyball.
Yep.
Has a playoff game this week.
Yep.
They missed a lot of games,
They did.
a lot of matches because of COVID. That not at Kingswood, but the teams that they were playing.
Yeah.
Many canceled as they went through. I believe they played 3 matches total.
Right.
I think that's the number.
And this playoff match is against Guilford.
Against Guilford.
Yeah.
So, and Guilford is
The reigning Division II state champs.
So they have their work cut out for them. And then boys soccer is playing Wednesday.
Yep.
We mentioned it with the Carter Morrissey thing.
Yeah.
That's a big game. That's against Kennett. That's
It's
a playoff
huge.
game.
Yeah.
And when they played Kennett before, that was a real tough fought battle.
Yeah. Very physical, evenly matched. Obviously, we want the Knights to win. It's going to be awesome, and we hope. We haven't had a lot of night games in a sense, like we haven't had Friday night football and stuff like that. So it'd be awesome to get people out there. So, and I know by the time you see this, the game will be over, but it would still be awesome. Kingswood wins on Wednesday. They'll play on Saturday, and we don't know where yet. And then girls soccer, traveling to Kennett. So the girls soccer team is also playing Kennett. So they're playing them on Thursday, which is exciting. And once they win on Thursday, then they'll play again on Saturday.
Okay, I like the positivity.
Which is good.
Cross country, we actually know that the states are this weekend.
We do know the states are this Saturday, which is Halloween, which is exciting. Coach Mick Arsenault and I texted earlier today, and he's going to be on our radio show this Friday at 4:30-ish. So we'll talk about that. A lot of great runners, though. We have. We talked about this last week.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We didn't talk
about it. So kind of their number one runner is Casey Arsenault,
who's won 3 out of the 4 races.
3 out of the 4, and he's just, for lack of a better term,
dominant.
Awesome and dominant. And then we had a transfer from Brewster Academy.
Yeah,
Matt Jacobs transferred over from Brewster Academy, and he's a heck of a runner. And he finished in the last race. He finished second.
Yep.
Of course, we have Oleg Sheehan.
Yep.
We have Matt Perkins. So many others, and we're going to have Coach Arsenault talk about his runners. And I don't want to dismiss the girls team either, because the girls team also has some excellent runners, and we're going to get all that information from Coach Arsenault.
Right, and so it'd be a pretty exciting preview for what they have on Saturday. We don't know where the states are, though, do we?
I don't know. I don't know. So somewhere in the state. Yeah. So there you go.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here. On a cross country course.
All right. Let's get to the Patriots. I was not looking, but we've kind of been procrastinating. To try to talk.
We're gonna end the show and not talk about the Patriots.
All right. Okay. They played San Francisco.
They did.
They got their doors blown off in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, they got blown out. They got outcoached. Quarterback play was abysmal from Cam Newton. Jimmy Garoppolo looked good.
Garoppolo. Okay, Garoppolo.
You're going to use the term serviceable? Is that what you're going to say?
I actually was.
Yeah, I know. I knew that was coming.
I was going to use that.
He was serviceable.
He was serviceable. I didn't think he was special. I thought the San Francisco team looked good, but I don't think this was about San Francisco. I think this was about New England.
Yeah.
New England has lost its edge.
Yeah.
They really have. They lost its edge. This is 2 weeks in a row now. When they went to Kansas City and they played their, they lost the Kansas City game because of their quarterback play, but everybody else was into the game.
I was going to say I missed my opportunity. They lost the edge because they couldn't set the edge.
No, that is
there
true
you go.
too.
But there was no.
But these are hallmarks of a Belichick coach team, of a Patriots coach team.
Right.
Discipline, making the right decisions. We saw Chase Winovich get into it with Bill Belichick on the sidelines. He's a second-year player. He's talking back to the greatest coach
of all time. Yeah.
And that didn't go well for him because he didn't really get in the game very much.
How many reps did you get, Chase?
13.
Yeah, I know.
And I think 6 of them were before that happened. And he's somebody who played every down before.
He may want to consult with Malcolm Butler as to what happens when you get into it with Coach Belichick.
Well, so that's pretty bad. So it's hard to pinpoint specifically what's going on with the Patriots because everything looked bad.
Yeah.
Everything. We talk about the operation at Kingswood.
Yeah.
The operation for the Patriots looked. We haven't seen anything like this, and I'm going to go back 25 years.
Yeah.
This is 25 years that we haven't seen that.
Bad football.
Bad football.
Yeah.
They've played bad games before.
Yeah.
But very seldom would you say they don't belong on the same field.
No.
With the team that they're playing.
Right.
And that's where I think we're at. We now know what it's like to be a Jets fan. I mean, I'm serious.
I know.
You don't look forward to that. Now, the good thing is that expectations have been way down. Way down. So,
I mean, do you think what about San Francisco? Do you think San Francisco is legit? Like we understand what they did last year, but they're starting to get some wins now. Are they? Are they a better team than maybe their record says?
Yes, I think they are, but I still think they're the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFC.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, I think we could say that Seattle's better. I think you can argue that Tampa's better right now.
Sure.
I would like
Green
to say
Bay's
that
better.
Green Bay is better,
Yeah.
and I would say New Orleans is probably better.
Yeah.
And that's just off the top of my head. There's probably a few other teams in there that,
but
the Rams.
Yeah. But San Francisco is.
They're a good team, but they just traveled across the country.
Yeah.
You were home 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
You played your 2 worst football games probably in 20 years.
Yep. At home.
At home. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Cam Newton for a second. He's terrible.
He is.
And boy, that was fool's gold the first couple of games of the year. That I thought, maybe they can do something here.
Right.
No, he's terrible. He's really bad. And I had read something that says that he's got the yips. Like in golf when you're putting, he's got the yips. He can't pull the trigger. If you look at some of the tape, he has guys that are open all over the
field. Wide open. I mean, I was watching all that. They're like circling open.
And he can't pull the trigger.
No. And when he does, he's bouncing in front of him
on easy throws.
Yeah.
This bad.
His mechanics are crazy, and Josh McDaniels talked a bit about his mechanics the other day, and said that they're working on that. Good. I'm glad they're working on it.
They better get it going now.
But do you think I know Bill came out and said Cam's their man. I mean, but how far away are we from Jarrett Stidham? I
was going to say how far away are we from Brian Hoyer, because I think that Jarrett Stidham, he has not shown at any point that he's a capable NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
At least, and I can't believe we're going back to Brian Hoyer, but at least Brian Hoyer has a little bit of track record. He played terrible against Kansas City.
Right.
He didn't have any
prep.
He
has some positive history. Right.
But you're hearing the story that they told Jarrett Stidham to warm up, and it took him like 5 minutes to get a ball and get the whole thing going. He doesn't. He's got no leadership whatsoever.
It's like when we coach baseball. Go warm up. Why are you still sitting here?
Right. And so. They've got some serious problems. I'm going to say I don't think the quarterback. We said last week, I think it was the take on the radio, that the next year's quarterback for the Patriots is currently in the stadium.
Yeah.
It better be Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
It better be him.
I think it is.
Because the other guys are not very good.
Yeah.
And
what
they're
about
bad.
What about this? Have you heard this rumor that I'm going to give you right now? Edelman to Tampa for a 7th round pick.
Have you heard a rumor that Edelman's going to Tampa?
I did. Yeah, that's why I brought it up. So, no, I mean, obviously it's just a rumor. It's him floating around Twitter. But
Edelman's heart's not in it.
no.
So 2 of the interceptions that were thrown to Edelman.
Yeah.
This on Sunday.
They got 1 catch on Sunday, right?
But 2 of the balls that were thrown to him were interceptions.
Yeah.
He made 0 effort
Right.
to either break up the interception
Yeah.
or to make the tackle.
Or to tackle the opponent.
But he's not the only one. When Cam Newton threw his 2nd interception that bombed down the field at the end of the 2nd quarter, the guy ran it all the way back to the 50, basically.
Yeah.
Cam Newton was on the other sideline. He never stepped over to make that tackle. Never came over to the other side of the field.
Wow.
So if that happens on a high school field, I remember a Kingswood quarterback years and years ago that did that. It wasn't even that long ago, maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah.
He did that, and the dads that were at the end zone, or coaches, or whoever goes down there. I think Coach Kelly was coaching at the time, actually. Just couldn't believe that was happening.
Right.
Now we're talking professional quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
A professional team not getting in there to make tackles.
Right.
And I didn't see any effort. I thought their effort I thought they gave up. I thought the effort was gone. They've got some big problems. So the future, are you a buyer or a seller now at the trade deadline?
I'm a seller.
You're a seller.
Yeah. Are you a seller?
I'm a seller.
Yeah.
And I'm a seller because this weekend weekend is their Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't turn things, they have the Bills this weekend.
They do.
This is
it. This is the
everything.
AFC. I mean, they'll have no chance of winning the East if they can't win this weekend.
If they don't win this game,
no.
And I give them pretty much no chance to win this game as it is,
Yeah.
based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks. And the Patriots still have that Patriot lore. They're getting the other team's best.
Right.
When New England comes to town, these teams are not ignoring them. They're not looking past them.
Right.
They're getting their best. And because the New England's beaten up on these teams for years upon years upon years, there's a lot of blood there. And I don't give the Patriots any chance whatsoever to correct all this. If they do correct it, Bill is the greatest ever. If you can go from what they looked like the past 2 weeks to winning a game
to beating
against,
Buffalo,
a team that we had them in the top 3 of the power rankings.
Right.
But I give them no chance. I give them no chance. I think that I'm going to be changed. I think it's going to be similar to what we just saw. It's in Buffalo, I believe.
It is.
I'm thinking that game's over by half.
Okay.
I really do. I think it's over by half, and I'll make another prediction. Brian Hoyer is the backup quarterback this week. He has been shelved. Stidham has been the backup quarterback. I think it's going to be Hoyer. Hoyer that's going to be the backup quarterback. I don't think that Stidham's going to be the guy.
So what do you think, though? I mean, you never really answered my question. If Edelman goes to Tampa
for 7th, I think it's great.
Okay.
I think Edelman's done.
So, but would he be done in Tampa? If he's reunited with Tommy and Gronk,
there's too many receivers down there. I don't think he would be first of all, I think he'd be a healthy scratch often. You've got Antonio Brown they just signed.
I was just gonna mention that. Now they have Antonio Brown
who can play the slot.
Yeah. Speaking of,
you got Scotty Miller who plays the slot.
and you got Godwin.
You got Godwin. You got Evans.
Yeah.
You have
they got great.
Two serviceable tight ends. One of them used to be great, who seems to be getting his old form back. You have a backfield that has a runner in Fournette. You got Jones that can get out there. There's just not enough balls to go around to Edelman.
Right. What do you think about? Speaking of Antonio Brown with the Bucs, what do you think of Bruce Arians' comment? Bruce Arians did not get Antonio Brown to Tampa. Tom Brady did.
Yeah, I think he's trying to cover the fact that it was Brady said he wanted him, and I think personally Brady's nuts to bring in either Edelman or Brown. I really do.
Yeah.
Because they got a good thing going down there.
Yeah.
They're starting to roll, and they've got Gronk active. They've got Evans and Godwin.
Yeah. They're looking good. They look like a good team.
They look like a good team.
Yeah.
And you're bringing in, first of all, you bring in Brown, who has the potential to blow up a team.
Yeah. He could be toxic in the locker room.
Obvious that Arians doesn't want him there.
Yeah.
That's very obvious. He made that clear earlier this year. He said,
Right.
I don't want him. We don't need him. We don't need that in our locker room. So there's some bad mojo there going on. Then you bring in Edelman.
And if Edelman's not the Edelman of old, which we're kind of seeing that he's not.
And Brady keeps giving him the ball.
Keep feeding him. Yeah.
That's what I would be afraid of for them. That those balls are no longer going to Evans. They're no longer going to Godwin. They're no longer going to Miller. He's going to be feeding Edelman because he's his buddy. And
bad things can happen.
I think that it never works out well when a player in the NFL, kind of dictates things. And even for the great Tom Brady, it never works out well. It didn't work out well in New England when he tried to get Antonio Brown in there.
It's true.
So, I mean, that really kind of
So, getting back to the Pats, who are we getting rid of? We're going to get rid of Gilmore.
We're
going to get rid of Sony Michel.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tooney.
And Tooney. Okay.
I think I would like to, I don't know if you're going to get a 1 for Gilmore, but I think you can get a 2 and a player. And I'd like to see them get a 2 and somebody's third receiver.
Okay.
I think that would be a good trade. I think the same thing for Tooney. I think you can get a 2 or a 3 and a player, maybe a linebacker. Yeah. Somebody's second linebacker. Yeah. Somebody who's deep with that. Edelman, a 7th, I think
would be great.
That'd be great. Yeah. I think if you can get anything for Edelman, I think that would be good. Who is that? Oh, Sony Michel.
Sony Michel.
I mean, Sony Michel was a first-round pick. He certainly showed a lot at times, like especially his rookie year, he showed at times. But I think he's not going to give you much more than a 4th.
Yeah. What about N'Keal Harry?
He's a bust. Yeah. He's a bust. I'm sorry.
Total
I'm
bust.
sorry. We're watching all these other receivers, and
yeah.
you see DK Metcalf run 110 yards to run down that guy.
I did, and we didn't.
Can you imagine
we didn't pick
doing
DK
that?
Metcalf?
Can you imagine him doing that?
No, of course.
Did you see Deebo Samuel for San Francisco running over Devin McCourty?
Yep.
And then laughing in his face afterwards?
Yeah.
So these are guys that were picked after him. He is a bust, and I think he's the greatest coach ever. But he has a blind spot when it comes to receivers.
Right.
He really does, and I wish that he would just let somebody else
let
choose
someone
the
else
players,
pick the receivers,
especially down the stretch here. And Bill could have final say, but Bill needs to open up it up a little bit and say, all right, I can't hit this receiver for the life of me.
Right.
I really can't. And so I would like to get a few more wins before I'm done. What's holding me back the past few years, the reason why getting to Tom Brady, now that we see what a good quarterback can do, or a good quarterback can do for your team, just keeping you in games, letting you adjust a little bit on the fly.
Right.
They had him. All they had to do was pay him. That's all they had to do was show him a little bit of love, and they didn't. They didn't.
Am I making you nervous because I was writing stuff down?
Yeah, you did.
I saw you over that.
I didn't know.
Just thinking about some things. Yeah. I'm just taking notes when you speak, Mike. I like to take notes.
Okay.
All right. What else?
Wait, I'm not done. What is What is the win number for the Patriots now? What do you have them having for wins at the end of the year?
I'm gonna go with. I'm still gonna go 9-7.
That means they have to go. They have 2 wins right now.
Yeah.
They have to go 7 and.
I mean, I guess I could go 500, but I don't. I'll still go 9-7.
Right now I'm at 6 wins.
6.
I'm at 6 wins. That was terrible. Yeah. That was terrible. That was not a good team. That was a team that didn't want to be there.
Right.
And I think we forget about all those players that opted out for the Patriots too. They lost a lot of their core defensive players. Yeah. And we're starting to see teams say, we can just run on these guys. There's nobody's going to stop us.
I mean, they cannot stop the run.
And then the defense now for the other teams are just putting everybody in the box and saying, all right, Cam, throw it in the dirt.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat us that way.
I know.
And we're just not going to let you run. And it's a mess. All right. The AFC East, the one thing the Patriots have going for them is the AFC East isn't doing very well.
No.
If they beat the Bills, they're 1 game out.
Yeah, because the Bills are 5-2.
5-2, they'd be 1 game out in the loss column.
Miami's 3-3. Right.
So it's
and then the Jets don't exist. So
right now the Jets that's not an automatic win. For the Patriots.
I know, which is scary.
It's terrible.
They haven't won a game yet.
Yeah.
The Jets.
So right now the Jets' best chance right now is against the Patriots.
New England. They got New England twice.
So they have to beat the Bills or it's done. All right, power rankings.
All right.
John, you ready? All right.
So we have one undefeated team in the NFL.
Yeah, it's gone down quickly.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Who are you going to pick for your number 1 team?
Kansas City.
Okay. I'm still going to stick with Seattle.
Wow.
I still like the Seahawks even after that loss the other night.
That defense is really, really bad on Seattle.
I know.
My number 2 is Pittsburgh.
My number 2 is Kansas City.
My number 3 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mine as well. Tampa Bay is the 3, and I'm taking Tampa Bay over Green Bay. I'm taking Tampa Bay over the Titans. So yeah.
You know, we do this every week because it's what they've done recently that matters,
Right.
and
Tampa just gets better and better.
They're
and better.
getting better and better, and they could be pretty scary at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gonna, you know, I sent out the tweet. I'm sure you saw it, that the Patriots' success right now looks like it's more due to Tom Brady than it is Bill Belichick.
Yeah. You had Tom Brady is greater than Bill Belichick. Yeah.
And based on what we've seen so far, now granted,
I mean, we're only 8 games. We're going into week 8.
But it's an unfair comparison because Brady went to a situation that
it's loaded.
Loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, he could go anywhere he want.
Yeah.
A coach doesn't usually get that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, I don't.
Rumor that maybe Bill's going to be going to Tampa Bay. No.
All right, John.
All right.
John is a game for us.
I love games. I'm terrible at them.
Top five. I've won the last 5 games that we played. So
I don't think that's true. I think it's exaggeration. Not 5 games. Maybe the last 2.
All right.
So top 5 running backs of all time according to Bleacher Report. All right. So
we just gotta. We don't have anything to choose from. So this is
right.
just off the top of our head.
I'll go. Can I start?
You can start.
I'm going to start. I'm going to say now. First of all, actually, we need some clarification from Jonathan. Are we starting with number 5 or are we starting with number 1? We're starting with number 5.
Okay.
Okay. So
that was helpful.
That is helpful because number 5. I'm going to go with I'm going to say Roger Craig.
Okay. I'm gonna go Eric Dickerson.
Ooh, I like Eric Dickerson. Okay, Adrian Peterson. Okay. All right, your pick for number 4.
I gotta 1, 2, 3, 4. Emmitt Smith.
Oh, I have to pick. Sorry. I'm going to go with Roger Craig. Oh,
no, he's number 1.
He's on my list
he's
too.
Number
I just
1.
got rid of him.
John,
right.
you're terrible. He's
not John's picks.
1.
It's Bleacher
he
Report.
Be number 1.
Leave Jonathan out of this. He didn't select these. All right. Number 3.
Is this based on yardage?
It just of all time it says.
All right, so this is like an
All right.
opinion-based thing. So you're up, number 3.
Well, let me ask you this. Who do you think number 1 is?
I think
Sweetness.
Well, it's
Sweetness.
No, I'm gonna think it's gonna be Emmitt Smith. As number 1.
I'm gonna go number 3 is Emmitt Smith.
And I'm gonna say number 3 is Earl Campbell.
Oh wow, real. Oh JB. My goodness. Number 2 is going to be. I'm not gonna. Oh, your pick anyway. It's your pick. So maybe this is this is your Earl Campbell.
Number 2 is gonna be Walter Payton.
Gosh, I had Walter Payton as number 1 though.
So don't put him down there now.
So I don't know. I was going Walter Payton number 1. I'm gonna pick. Oh gosh. I don't know.
We don't have a 3-hour show.
I'll go with. I'll stick with my favorite running back, Roger Craig. Emmitt Smith. Say okay.
So number 1's
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. All right, so leave that up there, John, for a second. I'm going to reorder those. Okay. I think Barry Sanders is the best running back that ever played. Number 1.
I'll give him 2. I'll give you number 2 for Barry Sanders. Walter Payton was the man. He did it all.
He did it all, and I agree. But do you watch highlights of Walter Payton or do you watch highlights of Barry Sanders?
I know. I watch more highlights of Barry Sanders.
And the teams that Barry Sanders ran behind were much worse than the teams that Walter Payton ran behind.
Yeah. Where's Roger Craig? That's what I want.
Roger Craig is like in the 20s.
Oh, please stop.
You and your San Francisco guys. I mean,
you probably have Rex Burkhead on the list somewhere.
No, I do not. I don't have Rex Burkhead anywhere.
So you're reordering. So you're gonna say Barry Sanders.
I'm gonna say Barry Sanders,
Walter Payton's 2.
Jim Brown, Walter Payton.
What? How can Walter Payton jump to 3?
I just did it. How could Jim Brown be behind Walter Payton?
Because Walter Payton's the greatest of all time?
Jim Brown played for like 6 years and broke all the records. They couldn't
Oh.
stop him. Literally couldn't stop him.
I don't know. I like Adrian Peterson, though. I think 5 is a good spot for him.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Downtown Grill
And
Cafe,
Thanks. Morrissey's Porch and Pub.
and Skelly's Market.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Go Knights.
Good night.